Starting out, I'll apply a lip mask to my lips so that they're nice and soft by the time I get to my lipstick. Now I want to mattify just my forehead area because the rest I want to be glowy, but as you can see, naturally I'm super shiny there. I like to use a mattifying stick for this. Now for a glowy face primer, it's going to give my skin the prep and glow before I put my foundation on. I start by applying it in this area so you get most of the product there, and then onto the cheeks, and then the forehead. I do want a matte finish on my face, but I want it to be a soft matte, nothing too intense. So I'll take one of my faves. So that is just one layer of the foundation, and I love the natural finish of that. I still need concealer because I got a pimple right there. I have the remains of one there, and then I have some just there on my jaw from earlier this month. Usually I will do my concealer a little bit later on in my routine just so that I don't accidentally wipe it off while I'm resting my hands on my face or those other things that I generally do. So now I'll move on to eyebrows. I will use my Benefit Precisely My Brow Pencil in 3.5, firstly brushing them up. Notice how I pretty much keep the product outside of this part of the brow. I like to keep that bare just so that it doesn't look too intense. I feel like that's what gives you the "hi, I'm wearing makeup" look, which I'm trying to stay away from this year. You might notice that I have some hairs there while I'm growing out my eyebrows, or trying to. I never had really fluffy eyebrows to begin with, so I don't know how well it's gonna work out, but I'm gonna try it for the next 6 to 9 months and see how it goes. I do go into the inner part with the brow gel, just because if you are light-handed, the brow only sticks to the hairs, it doesn't really go on the skin. I really like this Tom Ford eye primer that I've had for a while. It has a cream pot, and then in the lid it has a setting powder, and recently I like to set my eyes because I'm going for those soft, really blended out looks. I hardly ever do like intense cut creases where I'd need that tackiness for the primer, so I love to do this one because it does the hard work for you. It's got the primer and the setting powder. It's kind of old though, it's got a crack in it. So I'll put this on the lid. Screw the cap on as soon as you're finished with the cream part so that you don't let it dry out. And then I generally dust it immediately over the crease and then blend it down and up. I guess the crease area is where I get creases, and it's where I normally blend out, you know, transition shades and such, so I start there. Now I'll stick with that brush because usually the first color that I go into from a palette would be my transition shade. So I'm gonna pick one from this palette. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk palette. I thought that was really appropriate for a Valentine's Day look, and it's just nice and soft neutral. So I'm gonna start with this color. Sweeping that into the outer V area of the eye. Also go under the eye. Moving on to the deepest shade, running that along the lash line and starting to work up. This is a gorgeous milk chocolate color. I'll also take that here on the inner part of the eye. I'm using a flat shader brush to take this shade, the first color. This is like the base shade that you're meant to apply first. I'm just gonna apply it all over the eyelid space, but not going right over the outer shade. Bringing it up onto the brow bone too. Same brush so you don't have to dirty a new one. I'm gonna take the foiled color just here, where the shimmery shade meets the outer V shade. Gorgeous, that's so beautiful. I don't quite know how to describe this shade. It's kind of pinky brown. Yay! Without adding anything to the brush, I'm gonna take that color that we blended the deepest color out with, going over that to make sure everything's soft, there's no crusty bits floating around. It feels so weird to have my eyebrow hairs there. I do not let my eyebrow hairs grow 1 second before I pluck them out. And to have some there, can you see them? Here's probably more obvious. I don't know what to do with myself. This beautiful pencil is gonna look great on the waterline. It's a nude color called Nudist. You might have noticed that once I get to the end of the waterline, I flick it out a little bit. Find that gives my eye a little lift. Now for a brown eyeliner. This one's also by Charlotte Tilbury. Quickly take a little brush, blend that in. So I created a nice soft wing with that product. Now, of course, mascara, one of my top favorites. Now I will move on to concealer. Guys, I love this concealer. You must purchase it. It's amazing. It's the Nars Creamy Matte Concealer. Soft Matte Concealer, my bad. And I'm using Light 2.75. Gone. This stuff is so good. A little bit of Shape Tape under the eyes. Gosh, a little bit goes a long way with this, I keep forgetting. Oh, I thought I was being so conservative with that concealer and now look at it. This is a Smashbox brush. Just patting, trying not to move it around too much. Oh, concealer, what would I do without you? I'm gonna contour my nose very lightly just because it's something I like to do nowadays. This is Rodial Contour Powder. See how the tip of my nose just looks quite round. It's something I'm a little bit self-conscious about, so I just like to straighten it out a little bit with just a dusting like that on the tip. I noticed someone said online that barely anyone uses Bare Minerals in their tutorials. Well, I'm gonna make an active effort to use some of their stuff. I plan to go to Mecca in Sydney and buy a bunch of their products. So here I am using one of the ones that Mecca sent me. It is the Bare Minerals Crystalline Glow. It's really pretty. Bare Minerals do have very nice powders. I feel like they own the kind of powder foundation spot. I'll take the MAC 137 brush in Pink Moonstone. I've never used this before, so let's see how it goes. Not much is coming up. I assume it's just a highlighter then. It says bronzer and highlighter. It does have a little bit of a pink finish on me, so I feel like I might actually be able to go on with this as blush, you know what I mean? That looks really nice. So delicate. Glistening Topaz Bronzer from the palette. A lot of people do not like to use glowy bronzers, but I love it. And that's why. Those products give you a kind of glass skin effect. It's so pretty. Now I really wanted to customize my own eyelashes, and I'm gonna take these ones, the number 141 from the Eylure Exaggerate line. I'll just show you up close what they look like before I hack away at them. I'm just gonna cut them into little individual clusters. Honestly, the easiest way to do that is buy a pair of nail clippers that you can use. They're so much easier to use than scissors when you're working with fiddly little lashes. They're just so much more like, I don't know, commanding. They just rest over the top, clip. Because I find that when you use scissors, it kind of makes the lashes bend and they try to get out of the scissors. Okay, my lashes are on. I love those. They're so fluffy and big. They're just gorgeous. So I'm gonna add a little bit more mascara to my lower lashes. I just feel like I need to balance that out now. Then I'll take a pink lip liner. This one's from Urban Decay. And then for lips, I will take Dioraddict 266 lipstick. Nothing too matte because I want my lips to look kissable. This will wear off really nicely. It's super hydrating, so my lips will stay soft underneath. Now I just have to go do my hair and get dressed. Not sure how I'm gonna do it, but come along. So a date night look, probably something casual, like loose little waves. So I'm curling my hair with my Cloud 9 curling wand. This is a pretty small one, but I like the way it looks. When I brush it out, it's very effortless, and this hairbrush is from Ugly Swan. It's so good for brushing out your hair. Spritzing it with a little bit of hairspray. As you can see, the back has already kind of dropped. My hair just does that. I don't know how to hold curl all the way around. And then something I like to do is lay my outfit out in the daytime so that I don't stress about it at nighttime. So this time I'm going for a casual look, but I'm gonna put my favorite lingerie underneath as a romantic little statement underneath for my husband. I'm going to use my favorite accessories. I love these diamond hoops. These are from Adornment and they're really nice. You can see my lingerie poking through there, and then my favorite accessories. And I love this kind of look with ripped jeans and then my favorite designer bag. This is a Chloe perfume. Just trying to be careful not to spray it on my jewels, because these aren't like real gold as far as I know, so I'm just trying to stay away from that so that I don't damage them. And yeah, that is my final look, and this is my date night look. So I hope you guys have a wonderful Valentine's. Sending you all love. Corazón.